Hey everybody, this is C-Dub with another WOFOYO short. Wanted to talk to you about Proverbs 22:6. The King James is the most famous version of this, and it simply says, "Train up a child in the way he should go. When he is old, he will not depart from it." I was praying recently, was over at a buddy of mine's church, and then the Lord dropped something in my spirit. This isn't what I was praying about. I'm just, you know, kind of praising and worshiping along with everybody else. And as I've told y'all before, keep a notebook handy. And the Lord basically dropped something in my spirit about the way we do children's ministry. And a lot of y'all ain't going to like this, but as Bones says, we're doing it the only way we've known how to do it for a while. So just hear me out. And if you don't like it, leave a bad review. Why are we trying to be cool in children's ministry? So a lot of times when I walk, if I'm visiting a church and I happen to walk by the children's ministry, for some reason, it hits me like the intro to SpongeBob SquarePants. Are you ready, kids? Yay! I can't hear you. Are you ready? And everybody gets hyped up, and I get the appeal, getting kids' attention. Attention spans are short. I get that. I respect that. But in addition to that, we're called to make disciples, and it's really no different with children. And so, granted, do I run a children's ministry? No, I do not. So there's your grain of salt. There's your full disclosure. I do not. I've raised some good kids, however. And I would like to point out that the one thing that a lot of times we don't see in children's ministry, because it's based on entertainment in order to keep attention, what kids actually learn from on a deeper level that will sustain them is modeling. And I'm not talking about walking down the runway. The behavior you model. What does integrity look like walking with the Lord? Because they're going to pick up on that way more than what they got during a puppet show, what they got. I remember back in the day showing VeggieTales for children's ministry. Need entertainment. You might get a lesson or two. How many people are remembering those lessons? And can you apply them? Because what we've lost, and I know because I've been guilty, there's things as I look back at my role as a parent, I have some regrets. There's things I would have done different. But I'm telling you, what we've lost is the art of demonstrating what walking with the Lord looks like in front of our children. We don't show them that there's a price to pay. We don't show them walking with the Lord, and it's not all church, 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 church. Because what happens if everything revolves around the church and everything revolves around the entertainment aspect of it, and hey, we're going to keep your attention this way. Children raised in children's ministry where it's always about keeping your attention rather than demonstrating and modeling behavior, grow up to become young adults and then adults who are basically driven to the mega church and the shallowness of a lot of those because it appeals to the entertainment custom. I mean, they've been so conditioned. We've been so conditioned to be entertained that we don't know how to relate, and we've rarely seen, in some circumstances, we've rarely seen the behavior modeled, the relationship modeled, and I guarantee you what your children will pick up on way more is the example they see set, especially by parents, but also anyone that's around them. And I'm also going to just throw this out here because it needs to be said because of the entertainment aspect of it. You also have to be careful about people with bad intentions that are predatory. And the one thing about if you're simply modeling behavior, which is known as discipling, really, if you're modeling that behavior and teaching it, especially in your own house first, then that aspect becomes almost a non factor unless you just got some shady relatives or neighbors. So now that I've upset you, now that I've given you some things to think about, I just want to encourage you to ask yourself, especially if you got kids, what kind of example am I setting? Am I constantly letting them be entertained by either their phone or some kind of ministry or this or that, but to the point where they're not actually getting an example? And am I setting an example? And what kind of example am I setting? And if you want to know what kind of example to set, then you need to pray, develop that relationship with the Lord, open that Bible, and WOFOYO. Get in the Word for yourself.